Greetings and salutations. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back. This is Edge of Eternity. I'm Ash, GM. Usual suspects are all here. And let's kick it off with a overview of what occurred last week. Our group safely defused the ambush by Varys's brother, Amir, who died in the result of that combat.
I was going to say not safely for him, but okay.
Well, no, I say safely for the party, man, as from the party's perspective. Much to Varys's grief, is that better?
Yeah.
Then the group proceeded to Riversmeet, where our intrepid bard, who isn't here this week, so I correct myself on the usual suspects being here, they aren't, they're down a bard, confronted her troop with the news of the death of Silpha, who was tagged to lead the performance in Dune City. Too much crying too much unhappiness to the guild, especially one young dancer named Daisy. She, with a bit of convincing conversation, diffused that situation, brought them at ease and reassured them. Messages were sent in regards to the death of Amir by Varys. Drinks were had by Galduhr, because Galduhr.
Yep.
Tenya managed to finally source the bits and bobs that she needed to convert her musket and increase the range of it, to which caused an issue when she proceeded to do that in the middle of the tavern common room, the great hall of the fanciest inn in Riversmeet. The innkeeper wasn't sure what the hell was going on, but it seemed shady as fuck, especially due to Colwen's reaction from it. And the message seemed to be sent, but they were not privy to that. And not too long after, I've skipped ahead. Before this, Colwen was accosted in his search to make contact with the local thieves guild, the butcher boys, as it were, from the all trade. Unbeknownst to him, he had to bring in mark placed upon him and travelled to a general store, Varney's general store, expecting to meet the butcher, the local guild head, the master butcher. This was not who he met. He met Jack of all trades. If there was a king of thieves, he would be it. A conversation was had and a mission was laid out to prove himself after the shenanigans that occurred in Summerford, which was not guild sanctioned apparently, nor was the guild informed until well after. So that was not
just
directly...
goes to show, do your paperwork, people.
So if his neck on the line, Colwen is setting out to recover a lost shipment that, from what Jack has told him, was accosted by bandits, everyone murdered, and an item of value that was being brought to him lost. Returned, and back to what I was saying about a message, a gentleman, a tailor, came in to speak to Jadis about drumming up some business for the costumes and whatnot, and any repairs or corrections and alterations that might need to be made there. What she didn't hear in Thieves' Kid was that he outright said that he is the local head agent for the Crownsmen, the Royal Secret Service of Solsgar. Totally an original idea, not sort of borrowed from anywhere and renamed. Promise. And that's where we'll pick up tonight, with everyone having completed a long rest after the last session.
Yes.
So, starting from the top, what are folks doing? I'm assuming that Colwen's very aware of the time precedent on him.
Yes, he is. And he had asked Galduhr to come with him to do a brief sweep for information. I think in terms of just kind of clarity and not hogging too much time with people, we did mention saying, okay, we'll talk about this kind of more in the morning. And
Yep.
he's going to basically leave a note for folks saying, gone to do some casing of the canivassaries.
So
Don't
you come down.
be back
and
for lunch.
So you come downstairs and you find that Jadis and the entire troop is already up and active, and basically finishing up breakfast and heading out towards the tailor, the Crownsman. She looks at you and, are you still coming with to the tailor first? I can't do the Jadis
That's a
voice.
good
I'll do the
idea.
best.
I think
Because-
Galduhr's probably got up and wandered down and grabbed his breakfast by this point.
Might be an idea. Galduhr, you want to come with? We'll head to the tailor briefly, and then I'll borrow you for a couple of hours.
That sounds like a good idea. Just bear with me one moment. Downs his beer, eats his food, just crams his food in it, and just goes, right, any crumbs?
You might want something to wash that down with. I don't want you getting a stomachache.
I'll be fine.
One of these days, my friends, one of these days.
Dwarven constitution.
Well, if you
I
got
don't
it,
throw up on board ship. You
He
don't
lives
think
off ship
I'm...
rations the most of the time. Anyway, Ferris, waking up early, staying put. What's the plan for you?
I'll go to the tailor, get my clothes checked out.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to. I'm guessing there's a contract for the troop.
There probably is. Have you sort of got it with you? Do you know what it is?
I'm guessing I was given one by my uncle.
I haven't bought that out, man.
Possibly not.
Roll a. You know that Silver had one. You know that your uncle had it. Roll a d20 for me. Anything under 10, you don't have it with you.
Are we using above VTT this shit?
No, I'm just doing some stuff on there, man, at the moment.
Right.
I had the things there, but I hadn't actually uploaded them to Drive. And
I have the contract with me.
fantastic. So let's do some rolls here. I want you to roll another d20 for me.
Five.
Okay, so I'm going to roll an opposed roll. Actually, do it as a persuasion roll. Redo it for me.
How does the crit sound?
Nice.
I don't care about the crit man on this. I care about the actual numbers.
25.
So, first stage of the negotiations, they agreed to pay for the accommodation. Second stage, because that's already given. Roll another persuasion for me.
I just critted again.
Need to check your dice in a second.
Hey, it should be on above
I'm joking.
DVT.
Man. I'm joking. I've got it here.
I have literally critted twice.
It's not about the crit man. It's about the actual number on this.
25.
Yeah, 25.
I've got it there for me. I've got it there. So, second round was a question of paying for travel. You are not paying for the travel costs. Third thing is costuming.
Which is what I was wondering about.
Did you suddenly learn the Jedi mind trick?
I think he fucking did, yeah.
Unfortunately, man, you're rolling against Silver and his persuasion check.
24.
Yes, which is lower than what his was with a roll of 10.
Good grief.
He's at level 20 bard.
Well, yeah, there is that. Yeah.
At the same time, I mean, a natural 20.
It's not a natural 20, it's a 19.
No, but I mean for the natural 20 stuff.
He's rolling insane, guys. Be careful. Faris Rain in the house tonight. It was a tough negotiation, but you've agreed to pay for some of the costuming later to be determined, with the Bards Guild to pick up the other half.
Right. Just checking, because
only because you rolled so high.
All right, half the costuming. Gotcha.
But that said, the Bards Guild is paying for the rest as a major contract for the guild. Anyway, that's done. Let's roll. Are you going with them? I'm assuming so.
Yes, to get my own clothes sorted.
Yep. Yeah, that's right.
I'll possibly ask what Tanya's going to be doing.
Tanya.
Well, Tanya's also up at this point, and she's been listening in, and she does not see our Tabaxi friend up and about yet, and she doesn't kind of
Tabaxi friend's already left.
Yeah, so she doesn't.
After asking Colwen and Co if they're joining there.
Yeah, so she doesn't really intend to sit around by herself, so she'll tag along.
Okay.
We all chase after.
So you come out, and you can still see the troop, 30 odd members travelling down the road still. I'll have to talk to Vinny about how large the troop is at some point. It was never actually discussed. It's a large troop, and you see them. They're not going fast. The younger members of the group are stopping every so often, pointing at sides and talking excitedly. You get the impression that they haven't been far from. Some of them haven't been far from Earl's Bay previously. While it's a much larger city, they're used to it. They've seen it. They've been there all their lives. This is new. This is different. So it's not hard to catch up to them as they head towards the tailors, the Crownsmen, with Jadis chiding them every so often to keep up. And she leads the way there, and before long you arrive at a well-appointed small shop. Or at least the shop front seems small, but going in you see that there's a door open and it leads further back. So you gather it is, well, not exactly wide, It is deep in several stories.
Tis but
It's-
a humble tailor shop.
You see that as you come in, you see several tables. A gentleman there invites you in, even though it is early. Offers you seats, offers you tea while you wait for someone to come down to talk to you.
It's a good thing I'm here because I feel incredibly underdressed.
Um,
I'm feeling.
This gentleman that's welcomed you in is richly appointed silken tunic, finest beef pants, boots that you can so black you can almost see your reflection in.
Pretty black.
He is. You can. They shine. He is well dressed. After making sure you're all comfortable, he exits the room, and moments later, top of the stairs, walking down, you see Roger St. James. Largish room, counters, tables, sweeping staircase at the back, several room doors towards the back either side of the stairs. They were open, but they're now closed.
Morning.
Oh. You bright and early, lads?
well, of course. Well, we decided to all come as a group, and and as far as that goes, I'm very sorry for the mob in your shop right now.
I'm not. It's business. I wouldn't have come.
And I'd appreciate if you didn't refer to me and my friend here as a mob.
I'm actually talking about the 30 performers behind us, but okay.
I'm pulling your leg, you daft Willy.
Oh, give me a moment. I'll see to the lady and her cohorts, and then I'll see if I can help you, gentlemen, with anything. He moves over, talks to Jadis briefly, reaches out, reaches into a pocket, rings a bell, and several tailors come out and lead her upstairs and off to the sides into rooms. And Jadis gives you all a wave as she goes off to sort out the troop and whatever costume needs they might have.
Have fun, Jadis.
She rolls her eyes and grins.
Well, she could use it after the last few days we had.
No kidding.
Roger St. James comes back over and goes, "Right, gentlemen, how can I help you today?"
Well, yeah.
My clothes have become a little bit wary from traveling.
Repairs or replacements, sir?
I'm thinking both. I could. I'm thinking both because they have become a little ragged. But I would like a fresh set to enter the Dune City conference with.
Right, well, if I'm going to a conference, I should probably look a little better than a deckhand.
All right.
I have
Anyway.
business with. Sorry, I'm speaking out of turn here.
You know.
I have business with the caravan masters. I want to look as though I belong.
So, not well-to-do, but well enough off. Not scruffy. Someone
Hey,
of... He looks at you and goes, obviously you want to keep the armor. I mean, I could probably have someone polish that up for you if you'd like.
Oh, fabulous. Saves me a job.
Same.
Probably sort that for about 10 silver there.
Right,
Now
you
the
are.
clothes. You're looking for something that probably a fine clothes. We can do a very fine outfit that you would fit in any court in the land for 15 gold.
Varys?
But, I'm guessing Varys is just looking around at all the fancy clothes at this point. Distracted, like, huh?
Group
It is-
discounts.
There is nothing on the racks. This is all handmade, tailored, master
It'll show off
tailors.
like materials and examples of things that they've
All
done,
Yeah.
but it's not racks.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, as far as I'm looking at the fine materials and like, ooh, and touching and feeling.
And
Well,
you
it's
see
more than-
the finest
the
of
thing.
silks from size, say, velvets, even linens that are just, the thread count on these is just amazing.
Well, I've got enough gold to pay for it. I'm just wondering how much Varys's uncle is contributing.
All right. So as far as this goes, I'm going to go up to him and say, we're going to spend a fair chunk of gold here today between us and the troop and stuff.
Mm.
What are the chances of getting a teeny bit of a discount today?
So was that for all of you? So yourself, the young lady here, the two gentlemen there. Was this an outfit for the lady upstairs as well, leading the troop, or is she sorting herself?
Well, as far as this, it's kind of interesting because the costs of the troop are being 50% covered by the House Gillicent.
I
So,
see. And the other half?
And the other half, the dancers slash performing its guild will be putting up.
The bards and the dancers, yes.
yeah.
Okay. He reaches into his pocket, rings a bell once, twice, and the man that came in and greeted you when you came in tall, slender, dark hair, well groomed. Comes up. Yes, Master St. James. What? I need you to organise to go down to. Give me 1 second for the name of this. I've got it here. I just didn't have my notes open. I'm looking behind. Righto. I apologise for my lack of preparation. I need you to head down to the Smoke and Mirrors and see if the proprietor there can organise to send a message to the to his counterpart in Solsgard and see about, or Earls Bay, one of the two, and Earls Bay. Make it both about compensation for the troop heading to Dune City, and confirm that that is a thing. Unless, of course, you have the contract with you there, Master Gillison.
I do, in fact.
He takes it from you, peruses it, sees the mark of the guild and your own there, nods. Oh, that's fine. Sorry, Jacob. As you were. Sorry.
Hey, well, these things have to be checked out.
Oh, that's just you. You're quite right.
Paperwork.
It makes the world go round.
Yeah, makes the world
it really
stop too
doesn't. But
sometimes.
it records what happens in it, at least.
Well, there is that. Stuff onto ship, stuff off ship.
some of it, and it's always got. He looks at you, grins, and says, "And it's always marked as to where it came from, isn't it?"
But of course, wouldn't have it any other way. And grins. I was thinking for myself, if I'm going to this fancy conference, I probably should look the part, but I was thinking sort of, I was the bosun on the on board ship, so something appropriate to my rank and
Something okay.
of
What
course
clan were
the
you,
Dark
sir?
Fist clan
Dark
symbol.
Fist clan. Understood. He appears thoughtful for a moment. Murmurs Dark Fist. I think I know just the thing. Traditional Dark Fist insignia and colours.
I
A heavier
wasn't,
material, obviously, as
of
is
course.
tradition. Did you want the kilt?
I think if I'm gonna do this, I may as well go the whole hog.
Yeah,
I
okay.
don't want the right impression.
We can do this. We've got several tardens in the Dark Fist colours.
Excellent. The ship's name was the Storm's Regret, so something sort of
We could
that theme.
probably. I can probably arrange something like that.
He's thinking sort of basic naval officers sort of
Yeah,
attire, but obviously in the dwarven style.
yeah, and he again brings out that bell, rings it once, and a tailor comes up. And if you'd like to go with this gentleman, he'll get your measurements and can discuss preferences.
Oh, fantastic!
But I'm certain that we can do something in the naval style of traditional naval style of the dwarven
That's
people
absolutely
with
fantastic.
the Dark Fist clan colours.
Excellent. Thank you, Master St. James. It's much appreciated. After you, young man. Enough
He
here.
looks at Varys, goes, "So, you were just going to say something about payment and a group discount. Roll persuasion for me." Oh, you have? Shit. No,
Have I?
that's the previous one. Never mind, you've done a lot of persuasions lately. I'm waiting for the crit.
Nope.
Not a crit this time.
Righto, opposed roll, let's see.
I just love I'll say this very briefly. This is exactly the kind of thing that your character should be really good at, and you are really good at. And I'm just like, yay, the talky upper class guy gets to really show what he's capable of in this regard.
I'm just grateful
So-
it's not Nord rolling.
Roger reaches up, touches his nose, thinks for a moment, finger to the lips. I'd probably knock off 5 gold per. So was that 4 or 5? One for each of you plus Jadis, or just the gentleman and the lady present here? I imagine Jadis is being taken care of under the contract.
For all of us. For all of us here.
So that'd be 40 gold for all of those here in front of me. And Master Darkfist. Are we in agreement on that? He smiles.
sounds
I'm
good to
always
me.
happy to make arrangements for ongoing arrangements for.
That's a good deal, that, actually.
All right. As far as this goes, as far as it's engineering, as far as goes, if your fabrics are as fine as this, we have a deal. These are beautiful fabrics. I do not know
We carry
how.
only the best.
It seems so. And
We are.
yeah, and it's interesting because the way he says this, he is like genuinely enamored by the products. He's not like being a pompous asshole. He's like, oh my god, this is beautiful stuff.
And it really is. He smiles and goes, "We are regarded as some of the finest tailors within the kingdom."
Tanya is having a moment to herself, walking about, looking around the shop a bit. Are there like sections where like dresses, robes, clothes are hanging?
There are several. He looks at you and goes, I can have several. We can show you several that have been ordered by customers that were never picked up, if you would like. They make to order.
Well, that's good to know. Well, while this person is talking to the rest of the party, she's having like a look around, checking out like the more like hidden away nooks and crooks, like in the backside of the aisles. Just
Roll an
having a
investigation check for me.
yeah. Never. That it is
A
a
10.
nice.
Out of the corner of your eye, delving into one of these nooks and crannies, you briefly see a peephole close as you glance at it.
Ooh.
And you get the impression that someone was watching what was going on in the room.
She walks up to the people, leans forward a bit, looks at it, and she kind of like rubs her chin, looking at it, and then and she jams her finger in it.
There is no peephole, it is closed.
Okay, never mind. I thought it was like an open.
No. It's a thing that was closed as you were looking. You caught it out of the corner of your eye, just as it was closing, due to your
Okay.
proximity to it.
Oh, well, that's interesting.
And looking at where it was, the only reason you can see it, see it there, is because you saw it close. It is so well designed that it is invisible.
Okay. Other than that, what I actually wanted to do though is like take a look at the different like robes and stuff, see if I can see. Are there any like robes hanging here that looks to be like tattered or like a robe with patches and stuff like that?
There are no robes here at all, man. There's no.
Okay.
It is all handmade to order. This is.
You're walking into Savile Row.
I mean,
If you know what Savile Row is, yeah.
Oh, that's a fair
it's
point.
It's the very best tailors that London has are all on a street called Savile Row, and they are of superlative quality, and I mean ridiculously good. But it's all
Kingsman quality.
Oh,
Let's
yeah.
go with that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Well,
Well,
reference.
Tanya will
I
get the dress made for her.
I understand.
You know, that is
I
custom.
understand where you're going. I understand where you're going. That was not my thought though.
Yeah,
I was looking for something very specific.
No. There's literally nothing on racks, man. It is. You'll see the fabrics. You'll see. There's several
Okay, so it's
devices
just
in there,
fabric.
man. And he reaches out and goes. He looks at you and passes a hand over one of these devices, and an illusionary image appears of a young woman in an amazing dress. Passes his hand over it again. Same woman fashioning a robe in a major style. And looks at you and goes, what exactly are you looking interested in?
Well, I'm not really very big on fancy clothing, as you can see, and she's like pointing to her own like slightly tattered green robes with her leather like shoulder pad and leather corset.
Would you like your armor repaired, tended to?
Well, I was actually looking for something utilitarian.
You'll need to be specific. Yeah.
Well,
Don't
I'm
forget
not
you're going
sure.
to this conference as well. I mean, half the visit was to get fancy clothes so that we could go to the conference in Dune City and all not stand out.
So He's not a mind reader, man. Basically,
Yeah. I don't know. Would you say that my clothes are fancy?
he looks at you, raises an eyebrow, and goes, "Oh, it's not.
Damn it.
I can make you the same things in a finer quality, and to the exact same pattern if you would like."
Um,
There is nothing wrong with the design of it. It's just, and he raises an eyebrow, the materials used were fairly common, and there are several improvements that can be made to the design.
well, that sounds good.
So simple, simple doesn't always mean plain, or simple
Well,
can be quite worthy. So
I would
if
still
you
like to upkeep my utilitarian proportions and also be able to like move rather freely in it without being restricted.
like I said, we can make something that is quite similar to what you're wearing, just of a finer cut and material.
Oh, that sounds good.
You will notice no reduction of movement. I can promise you that,
That
and the
sounds very
utility
good.
will still be there.
Tanya's really out of place.
It's just
She
not her
is.
scene at all.
I'm just picturing Kaylee from Firefly in that particular episode.
That is be spot on as to what I'd think there. That is a beautiful description.
Yeah, the mechanics.
Yeah, you couldn't ask for a better example. But anyway, please play on.
So he brings out that bell, rings it once. Gentleman comes in. He talks to him briefly, and not long after, a tailor is brought to you, seamstress. He talks to her briefly and goes with you. He goes, I'm going to need all of your armor as well brought forward so that we can tend to it for you if you'd like. It's
Okay.
generally to the group since you all said that you wanted to.
Haven't I already gone off with the bloke who's measuring me up?
Yes. And
You
your
hear
armor
in
is
the
quietly being
background
tended to.
You hear in the background a muffle. Oh, that's a bit cold.
Yeah, she begins to take off her shoulder strap and her leather studded leather corset. And
Yeah, Roger St. James raises the hand and goes, dressing rooms are upstairs with the lady, if you don't mind. We can have it brought down and tended to and brought back to you before you are done by someone else.
oh, right. Private changing rooms. That's a thing. You see, I grew up in a major school, and we
He
kind of like
smiles,
shared like sleeping quarters and dressing rooms and stuff. So I'm not really used to like having my private space when changing.
quite all right. And motions for you to follow the woman that is tending to your needs for that. He turns to Colwen. So, you wanted something serviceable that is of decent quality. Did you also want something of finer make for this meeting that you are attending in Dune City, I believe?
Yeah,
So
I would. What's the phrase for it? A dining outfit, a dinner suit.
we could probably do you a set of traveller's clothes if you didn't want just these ones you have now repaired and livened up a bit. The new set of traveller's clothes would be 2 gold on top of that, and the fine clothes is already organised by Master Gillison, I believe.
Yeah, I'll spring for that.
Okay, we can measure that and arrange that.
He leans in and whispers, "I want deep pockets."
He smiles. Something that you. He leans in and says something that others wouldn't find if they needed, unless they looked really well.
Yeah, something that fits well within the lining.
Understood. So he again rings that bell, leans in closely to the to Jacob, and goes, "Special order for this gentleman. Something of one of our special outfits for the extra bits that you don't want people finding." Jacob looks at you, smiles, nods, goes up, and takes you up into a room personally to have you measured.
Yep.
Roger St. James turns to Varys. "Now, you, sir, what can we do for House Gilicent this day?" "Something in Gilicent colours, I imagine?"
What is Gilicent colours? Out of
"You
curiosity.
tell me. You tell me."
All right.
Purple green.
Quite possibly with how gaudy the armour is that he wears.
All right. As far as this, because I'm gonna say Gilicent House colours are white with gold embroidery.
Okay. Oh my god. Righto. At least it's not gold with white embroidery.
That would be
Yeah.
really bad.
Bit much.
Yeah.
He smiles. "Would you like the house crest upon?"
Indeed.
"Across the entire back or just over the breast? Over the heart?"
Good sir, do you expect me to wear something like that? And then it says, of course, just on the breast. We are not.
He looks at your armour and the entire crest emblazoned across it.
My armor has that. I was on the impression it was just
Yep.
gaudy because I didn't realize it was
No.
gaudy because it had like a massive fucking house.
The entire front of that is covered with the Gilicent crest in gold. It is not fake gold, it is etched gold, literally gold in that chest.
To be fair, you are one of the sons of this house. You know,
All right.
one of the prominent parts of the family. You know,
All right.
As we decided at the start of with your character, man, that you had this, that it was gaudy as fuck.
Well, I didn't realize that gaudy as fuck meant he was going to wear something, that he was going to wear a crest which took up the entire freaking front of his shirt up.
What do you think? What?
I was on the impression when he said gaudy, it was just like intricate and gold and just had a normal side.
No.
No.
You will make Liberace look straight.
Anyway, moving on.
All right. As far as that goes, Varys actually asked for like a small crest over the pocket. Yeah,
Okay.
a small crest over the pocket, and yeah, and then essentially because he explains, I don't quite agree with this armor as much as it is nice and it is family given. I do not like the fact that it is so big. I do not like the fact
So it
the
is
family
out
crest
there,
is so big.
so-
Yeah. And then of course he goes out, so by all means please do not remove it because my parents and my uncle would be furious if I did. But although as far as that,
He says,
although it's
I know a
fine
blacksmith
clothes.
that could have it reduced.
No. Unfortunately, I can't do that because my family would kill me. Yeah. Although as far as these,
Understandable, sir.
yeah. Although as far as these new clothes, I'm sure I can decide for myself how gaudy these new clothes be.
Understandable. Subtle, refined, noble.
Yes.
It's what is more than within our capabilities, sir. You will look amazing. And he takes you off, and he himself leads you upstairs to take your measurements.
All right. And as far as this goes, I'm actually going to point out because I knew we were going to tailors. I actually brought like a change of clothes as well, so I'm not going to stand there naked, whereas everyone else probably is.
You still got to get your measurements, dude.
Oh yeah, I know.
And you don't have to strip off for it.
No, it's just down to your underwear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Please tell me
half
that
hour.
the family crest is on the underwear.
Guess where?
I'm not. That is entirely up to Varys to decide that.
So I'm in like a measuring changing room right now.
You're
Yeah.
You're being
Okay,
outfitted and measured and whatnot.
Yeah, while I'm being measured and stuff, I'm like, cool, and then like having a look around to see if like I hope there's no peeping holes like I saw downstairs here.
The young woman looks up at you, and there's genuine confusion on her face. Sorry, sir.
No, nothing.
Madam.
Speaking out loud
Ma'am,
again.
sorry. Yes, sorry. Thank you. Correction. Sorry,
Speaking out
ma'am?
loud again. No, don't worry about it.
She looks confused and accidentally jabs you with a pin as you've distracted her while she was taking measurements and making. Oh, sorry. Oh, so sorry. She runs over to a sideboard and brings back a small potion. It's a healing potion. These things do occur occasionally.
Well, thank you. I will. Okay, she
So do
takes
you
it.
take it or do you pocket it?
I pocket it because I won't need it right now. That was a small pin needle. I'm like, okay.
At this point,
I'll
Colwen
pocket it.
comes downstairs, still with the designs on there. Oh, I could hear that from half a mile away. Look, he kind of leans and says, "Don't be rude. Drink it. We want to be able to come back here."
She shakes her head and goes, "It's quite all right." So mark a potion of healing.
Regular or
Regular. It's just a potion of healing. 2d4 plus 2.
Yeah, they're not cheap, those things, either.
No, they're not. Have you seen the cost of a superior one? Oh, jeez.
Yeah, they're ridiculous.
Like
Potions are
five or six.
freaking expensive, which shows you
Yeah,
how
like
well to
it's-
do this.
Yeah, superior one goes for like
establishment
5,000 or
is
6,000.
Yeah.
she.
Yeah, but they heal everything.
She leans in as you're. Please don't tell them that I accidentally jabbed you. It's my first week.
Don't worry, I won't. It was an accident, yeah?
Yeah.
They're worth 50 gold?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is now losing money on this transaction.
Well, tax deductible due to employee incompetence.
Yeah. I mean, that's assuming that he actually pays for the potions, but hey.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and as far as this goes, it's because the dancers are probably getting, and there's probably 30 dancers with 10 gold apiece. So at least, so
10
that's
gold a piece, mate. Their costumes, of how bloody intricate they are not going to be 15 gold.
Yeah.
They're not going to TK Maximus.
They're really
You
not.
guys are paying for fine clothes. There'd be a tier above that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
he's
due
going to
to
be
the
making
costuming.
at least, he's going to be making at least 20, 30 gold on each of those dancers at least.
Multiple costumes, multiple sort of scenes, whatever.
Yeah.
He's going to be making easy 300 plus gold off them.
Yeah.
400, 500, whatever. It's not a cheap sort of setting. There's a reason that he came to sort of offer his services to him.
Wait.
Everybody's going to look fabulous.
Yes, absolutely. So, as said, about half an hour passes, measurements are taken, the designs and whatnot that you want with your clothing for this event in Dune City is taken care of. Galduhr comes down first, as he was the first to head up.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I'll make sure the kilt's right length, sir. With the clan
Excellent.
colours.
Absolutely. Fantastic young man. Apart from that little bit of cold metal, that was, yeah, I quite enjoyed that. Good work.
Always
Don't
aim to
get too
please, sir.
used to it.
I'm not sure I'll ever get used to that, but hey, I like it. He's never had custom stuff. It's
Tenure. Second one to go up comes down. At reasonable similar time to Colwen.
Hey Tanya, got yourself sorted?
Hi.
Colwen.
It's a bit
Jacob
of a small prick.
thought when he was measuring you, barely spoke. You've not heard him speak above a whisper, and not spoken to you directly the entire time you've been there. It was an
Fantastic.
odd experience.
Well, one professional to another.
Well,
I can appreciate the particulars. Ah, good stuff. If I live long enough, I'll have to come back here.
and he, as you're leaving it, well, that determines on how quickly you complete your mission, doesn't it, Mr. Mundus? And it is a very familiar voice.
I didn't want to over-egg the pudding.
Quite all right, sir. He leans in, whispers, "Be careful around this lot."
Which ones?
He looks around. And
He looks
very
at
quietly
yes, sir.
says, "Things are coming to a head. There's odd things going on between the Crownsmen and us." And it is a bare whisper you barely hear.
It never rains, but it pours.
Like I said, there's odd things afoot.
Your work is always appreciated, especially when it allows me to do my job effectively.
Not a worry, sir. Not a worry.
Right.
We look forward to further business with the Crownsmen. Here at the Crownsmen.
Galduhr, we got work to do.
Oi! Oh God, my armor's shiny. That's a fine job you've done there.
To Roger St. James comes down, smiles as you say this. All up there, gentlemen. It'll be 40 gold, 10 silver for the testing of the armor and your current equipment.
I pull
Mr.
out.
Mundus, that will be an extra 2 gold for the traveller's clothes. And he presents them to you straight up. They put a rush job on. It is good, solid clothing. He explains it as something that was not picked up and fits your measurements to almost exactly.
Another reminder to carry with me. Out of character, can we get a split of how much each of us are paying, just so we're not having to go through all the ins and outs? And I'll just pay Colwen's lot out of his gold.
Well, as far as that goes, it's going to be 10 apiece. It's going to be 10 apiece plus any bonuses.
Or 12 for me, because
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I got some extra because of shining armor.
Yep, so it's
What was
10
that?
silver. It was 10
10
silver.
10 silver, 10 gold, basically.
He also did Colwyn's for that. Because Colwyn and yourself are the ones that mentioned it.
So 10 gold off.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
They should be ready within the next day or two, gentlemen, ma'am.
Fantastic.
Tanya looks over a bit and towards where she saw that peeping hole. Is it currently open or closed?
You see that it is closed there. There is no indication of it there at all. You look in the direction of it. The only reason you know it was there is because you saw it. But it is a blank wall. Roger St. James follows your gaze. As you turn back, he smiles.
Right, I've adjusted me gold.
Well,
Oh, and it's minus 10 silver on top for me, isn't it?
Which is
yes.
gold, essentially. Yeah.
Right. Okay, and I've done, so that's already been included. Right, grand, cool.
It's in tens in 5th ed, so it makes things easier.
Great. Okay.
Tanya kind of like leans a bit closer to him, and she's like, I'm not sure what you do here, but I think you might have someone spying on you.
It's the tailors.
He looks at you.
They
Raising
do
an eyebrow.
that.
Who would be spying on us? And roll a perception. What's everyone's normal perception? Is anyone
12.
Perception or insight?
Is anyone
13.
above a 14?
No, I have a 13.
Never
Oh,
mind.
mute that
Yeah.
phone, please.
Yep,
Yeah.
I'm on it. Everyone likes a raptor. Come on.
No, we don't.
Yeah, time and a place.
I have muted my phone entirely for you.
Gracias.
Triceratops for the win.
Triceratops.
Try horns best.
Okay. Anyway, let's get back onto it. We don't spy on people here. I don't know what you're talking about. He smiles politely. Can you show me where? What do you mean? He reaches out.
I turn to. Actually, were we
Hold
taking
up.
that gold out of the party fund or out of our own fund?
Entirely up to you.
I paid for mine out of my pocket. Just easier.
I paid for mine as well.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay. I'd look at Colwen and just go, right, lad, are you ready? Let's go and have a bit of a wander.
Tenya,
Yes.
I need you to make a wisdom saving throw for me.
Oh, shit.
As he leans in.
Is he trying to do modify memory?
You don't know.
Oh, that's a 20.
You hear him whisper something and you feel something grip your mind briefly and then slip away. There was something that was attempted there. You're not entirely sure what.
But it did not affect me.
No, it did not.
All right, she reaches up and grabs him by the collar and like pulls him in like, what are you trying to do?
Whoa. At this point, Colwen, who is just about to head off with Galduhr, kind of rushes back. Says, hey. Let's not
She
over
reaches her other hand over to Colwen, like her finger close to his face, like, shut up! You were trying to do something with my mind, didn't you?
Oh, shit.
Sorry?
I'm rather proficient with magic, you know.
You have no proof of this.
I felt it.
Felt what?
Right
now?
as soon as...
I'm concerned.
All right. All right. At this point, Varys is trying to throw himself between them and
Between, I'm actually holding
All
him
right,
by the collar.
Roll a strength check at this point.
All right.
Oh,
I'd like to do it.
Fine.
Sorry.
Contested strength check.
It's all happening very fast.
He's patient,
Shit.
but he's
6.
not that patient. So he grabs your back of your hand, twists, puts his hand at the elbow, and slams you into the ground, face first, and says, "Manners, man."
You walked into that one.
Manners.
Forgive her,
Alright.
she's been very highly strung lately.
She
May
seems
we
to-
remove her?
You may. I'm not entirely sure what she thinks is happening here. She's
Oh, you can
speaking of-
play stupid. You can think that I'm stupid
Dragging
as
her,
much as you
saying,
want.
Galduhr, hand here, please. Small person.
Galduhr walks in, picks up Tanya, and carries her out.
Gracias.
Do you resist the lift?
I
Then-
do resist the lift.
Roll a grapple check.
What's grapple check done on?
That is your
Strength.
athletics versus my
Athletics.
acrobatics or athletics.
Yeah, that's correct.
Oh, I only got a 14, so you might be able
I
to.
got a 16.
Good grief.
You pick her up and she sort of keeps rolling.
Can I
over your
aid in
shoulder.
this roll?
Yes, you can. Roll with advantage, Galduhr. So do another roll. You almost sliver out of his grip, but then Colwen grabs you by around the head, and you are manhandled out of the
Right.
room by the two of them, protesting wildly. Something has
that
gone
point-
on, and you are not sure what.
Well, Galduhr just takes her outside, sits her down, and just goes, "He's Crownsman. I'm pretty damn sure that he's part of Solsgar's intelligence network. So if people are watching us, it's because they're just keeping an eye for safety.
Yeah,
Just calm
but
down."
he was trying to do something to my mind. I do not
Yeah.
approve anyone trying to fiddle with my mind.
We know.
Trust me, I wouldn't be happy either. I get why you would react that way, but you're in the lion's den. Don't kick him in the nuts.
Aye, that.
Colwen kind of
Right,
looks around,
anyway.
just like, yeah.
Colwen,
Yeah.
right, we've got business to take care of.
Yeah.
Calm down a bit, Missy. You'll be fine.
Can I do some actions before the
And
Mhm.
Calder
Yeah.
wanders off.
Cut back to Varys in the. Are you still inside the Crownsmen?
Yes.
Okay.
Insight. Insight was the
Yeah, roll it.
was the guy bullshitting.
Roll it inside versus his.
Yeah.
Let's say deception,
Yeah, I was thinking that's what it'd be.
because we all know that he's bullshitting. Smooth as butter, he smiles at you. Innocent as a lamb. And you are beginning to doubt that anything happened at all.
Alright. And so as far as that goes, I'm going to say I'm very sorry for my compatriot. I do not know what she is. I do not know what she
It's
thinks
quite
she's.
alright.
I
It's
do not
quite
know what
alright.
she thinks she's. And as far as this goes, I shall make sure she goes to the. I shall make sure she goes to the finest physician to be checked out as soon as possible.
Oh God!
Hey, I did not say I did not say psychiatrist. I said physician.
He smiles. I don't understand, but he look. Give me one moment. He
I
goes
really.
in, brings out a card, writes something, brings out a gift, and puts the card on it and says, "Mayhaps this will make amends for the young lady and what she thinks might have happened."
I'm going to play along. Like, I'm going to be oblivious. I'm going to be oblivious and Varys, and I'm going to go out and have a chat to Tanya and say, look, we saw nothing. The guy was on the level, but he did apologize for manhandling, and he even gave you this little gift.
It's a box. It's not quite small. You open it up and roll a d20 for me, then, Nord.
Well, who opened it?
This is for you, man.
I think Nord was asking, as in, was it opened by her character, or did
Yes.
Varys say, "Look,
I
here's the
don't
thing"?
think Varys opened it, did he?
No, Varys didn't open it. Varys
Well,
just took the gift
that's
to Tanya.
the case, though. I'm not sure she if this suspicious guy who's already tried to do something to her mind is giving a gift
There's
that she
there's
has
a
to.
there's a card there. Do you want to at least read the card?
I rolled a 9, by the way.
That's fine.
Okay, yeah. She reads the card.
I apologize, and I would appreciate your discretion in this matter. Appearances must be maintained. You'll find something in there, and this is in italics and heavily bolted. He's gone over it once or twice. It is basically calligraphy. The word useful.
The word what?
Useful.
There's something in the box that you're going to find useful.
Aha.
Oh, that's going to pique Tanya's.
Her
The
mind
box.
instantly goes from very ill-tempered to like curiosity
Ooh,
taking over. Like shiny.
After the word useful, there is only open if you agree upon your discretion in this matter.
Yeah, she nods to herself like, okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
What's in the box?
So
What's in the box?
you
What's in the box?
see in there a robe, and upon pulling it out, you find a well-made robe of the finest cut and garment, with odd patches on it.
No.
No way.
Discretion is extremely valuable to him.
Yes.
She grabs the robe and she stands there regardless of whatever her companion around her is doing. She stands there and she's ritual casting identify.
I'm sure you know what it is, but I'll send you this in anyway.
I believe this is the robe of many useful items.
Robe of useful items.
Yes. At this point, I think we're gonna have to go through what items I'm actually getting into, because there's like a 4d4 roll
There
to
is.
see how many
We'll-
additional items, and then
We'll cover it later on.
yeah.
We'll do it
Excited
later on.
player is excited.
So just do your 4 rolls for me, actually, man. 4d4.
4d4s. That's gonna be the amount. Because 1, 2, 3,
So
4. Roll.
4d4.
we'll get it out of the way so that you can sort of.
Oh,
Well, freaking hell! So I want you to
additional patches.
in the background roll your 12 d100s, and I'll keep going as we go, and just make a note of it.
Yeah,
that's what you've got. So you can do that in the background. Excited little artificer.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to put up my notepad.
Right, so
things.
Varys,
Lovely.
you're standing there watching a completely oblivious artificer sitting on the stairs to the Crownsmen, oohing and ahhing over this. It's well enough made, but these patches on it are odd. It is, in fact, a really well-made robe, considering who made it, but the patches are odd. Colwen, is there anything you wanted to do there before we move on to Colwen and Galduhr there, Varys?
Interesting robe. It looks like Crownsmen material, but it also doesn't with those patches. I'm guessing Tanya says nothing because it's she's busy.
She is completely enwrapped with that robe.
She's ignoring you completely.
Ignoring
Yeah.
the world, I think, at the moment. Quietly squeeing about the place. Just like, ooh! That's a
Excite.
powerful object. That is a powerful object.
Mm-hmm. Generous DM is generous.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he'd say I was going to try and give you a bit more this time around.
I think
Mm.
you've living up to that, and also given it's been very clear the sort of the power levels kind of and challenges that we could potentially go up against. So it's not even like it might last that long, but it feels, I'd say, fairly appropriate.
Yeah.
I'm
And
just
it's not
reading
really a game-breaking item. It's got a lot of
No.
useful bits and bobs in there.
I'm just reading this table. This table is
Insane, yes.
Yep. It's a pretty crazy item thing.
It's
It
going
is,
to be
yeah.
good if we ever need a rowboat.
Or a pit, a raging pit, or a door, or whatever.
A window.
Anyway, Colwen, Galduhr, what are you planning on doing?
I think it's probably going to be easiest if I kind of, before I role play it, sort of set out the intentions and stuff and see
Yep.
where to go from there.
That's perfect.
Makes certain things easier, not having to go improvise too much. So, the current plan is that Colwen is going to pose as a representative of the caravan company, basically going around and saying, I was expecting this from, so I say, a week ago. Has anyone heard anything? Has anyone seen anything?
So you're posing as a member of the merchant house that was getting those goods ordered in.
Or at least a bilateral representative.
Yeah.
So it gives him enough cover for that.
Not a problem. What's your plan of attack?
Well, that is going to partially depend on, one, how much information is forthcoming.
Okay, so...
And two, if he's going to say, okay, such and such knows more than they're saying, we need to get him when he goes to the toilet, beat the shit out of him and get the information that way, for example.
You can, off the top of your head, after talking to several people, you know that the sellswords and the caravan, they would have had to, information would have gone to the custom house and the customs agents is one place you could have checked out. Down on the, what is it, the Riverside, I think, the district, the Dirty Trumpet, is a bit of a dodgier sort of bar that that sort of clientele is
knows things that would not be on the official record.
So that might be two places that you figure that you might be able to ask around as two avenues of investigation.
Right.
Galduhr would also like to go down to the docks at some point.
Yeah, that's doable.
Because there's a variety of stuff that... and rumours get that passed around down there. He'd also like to sort of inquire as to what sort of transport goes up towards Dune City on the river and how far it goes and how much it'll cost. You know, just so that he can get the information back to the troop and Varys, because it might make our travel easier. You know, if we can go part of the way on the river, that's going to
generally
save
the
a lot
river
of
is
fuel
considered the safer way to travel.
Yeah, and it would just make things a bit easier, and what the possibilities are there. So
again,
apart from that,
probably...
he's basically following Colwen and being his hired muscle for the day, which essentially is what he is. So
from what the two of you have established, either of those places that I've mentioned would be a good place to ask those questions anyway.
Right.
start with the official place and then go to the unofficial place, because if nothing else,
Okay,
the official
right.
place will have a quick, sharp and to the point answer, and the unofficial place will probably have a longer one involving violence.
so you trek
Yeah.
down towards the wave gate and the custom house there. You know that, yes, there's a large amount of traffic due to caravans, but that's seasonal, whereas a river trades all year long. And the major office for the customs is at the or near the wave gate.
Mm.
You see it's basically a small building. Well, the doors heavy set, reinforced with metal banding.
Nice.
Windows narrow, built to be defensible.
Mhm.
As
Expensive stuff be here, yo.
Oh yeah.
you get that this is, as a custom house, there would be contraband goods that are seized here and before they're moved to a obviously holding place before they are either resold or destroyed.
Yep. Okay, so who's the desk clerk?
So you head in, you see a heavy table, crossbow leaning against one side of it, heavy crossbow, and a older man, greying hair, pulled on top, sitting there, making a notation on a ledger, looks up, clear grey eyes, sharp and hard, looks at you and goes, "How may I help you today?"
Good afternoon. I'm here about
Afternoon,
a.
it's still morning.
I'm always a few hours ahead of the game.
Always a bonus, though.
I'm here as a representative. Insert house name here, in accordance with a shipping company. There has been a delivery that's been missed, and I wanted to see what information was available about it.
He opens his book. Date that by barge or caravan, sir?
Caravan
Right. So from the north, then I gather.
from Saisei.
So from the north, then from Dune City by way of so I say by way of Dune City. Understood.
Yeah.
Caravan owner's name.
I've at this point misplaced my notes.
Malcolm
So
Tugrits.
Malcolm Douglas, yeah, that's it.
Thank
you, Mr. GM.
You're right. He pauses, leans back. Sorry to say that you'll be waiting on that caravan a long time there, sir. It was hit by bandits. We had a group of Knights of Sol on patrol discovered those smoking remnants a day or two previously. Looked like it had been there for maybe a day more. We sent out a patrol that returned yesterday to
I see.
investigate. All hands are dead. Goods are gone, and nary a trail that we could find. Though we are not seasoned trackers, obviously, we've put in a request for a pathfinder to come out and see what they can find.
May I have a copy of the initial reports just so I can file it away and show that I've done my job?
He brings them out and he goes, "I led that group myself. You can, if you need to see, bring up anything regarding this. I am Deputy Customs Officer Merrick Travail."
Just a couple more questions before I go, if that's all right with yourself.
If you need to inspect it, basically travel north for a day's ride, and oddly enough, this is the best way I can describe it. Off to the east, as you'll see series of rocks that looks like a hand flipping travels a bird.
I've heard stories of it. Yeah.
And just off to the east, past that, you'll find where they look like they were hit just before they made camp.
Grand.
Definitely worth checking out there, sir.
Oh,
Oh,
might
yeah.
have to go and have an initial look-see. Just, like I said, a couple of quick questions.
Hmm?
Are there any known groups operating in the area?
You usually don't get bandits around here. The Knights of Sol are pretty on top of that. I mean, along here occasionally you'll get some trying that sort of come out of the desert in winter, but outside that, there's not much trade going up and down this side of the nation because, like, as I said, it is all seasonal and dependent on whether we can get across the desert.
Yeah,
The worms, you understand.
of course.
Well, aye.
Don't want to mess with them. That's very disturbing. Okay. And the manner in which it was attacked, you ever seen anything like it before?
Honestly, they seem more interested in killing every man, woman, and child there than looting, but it was thoroughly looted as well. Usually, they're not that brutal about it.
Right.
That's enough to go on for now. Thank you very much for your time. Soul bless you.
You too.
Thank you, sir.
And
Positive.
as he's leaving, he mutters under his breath. Hang on, was that taken away? Fare, watch your shadow.
You know, it's
Sorry,
starting
sir?
to sound... Never mind, sir. We're just musing to ourselves. Come on, Colwen.
Good day to you.
Thank you. Good day to you
Leaves.
too, sir. And as we get outside, I just go, that was a targeted attack. Somebody knew that was there and that was coming. They wanted to keep everybody quiet so that nobody'd know.
You
Well,
ever come
obviously,
across
it's not
anything
our
like
fault.
that in your line of work?
You get the odd pirate, but they tend to back down when you beat the shit out of them. So, not so much. No, it really does, because they're after the goods, not killing people. If you get in the way of them taking the goods, then yes, they'll probably do you in, but they don't normally wipe you out. That's to keep you quiet or to try and hide what they're doing. That's what it smacks of to me. A targeted
I think
attack.
you've got the
Just so
nail
that,
on the head there.
you know. Aye, well, let's go to some less salubrious places. Maybe get an ale if there's time.
Indeed.
And,
Before we do that, was there anything you wanted to ask about in the more legitimate quarters? I don't want to cause a fuss that means you can't come back and check any business.
aye, there is that. Well, since we're down near the water, let's just nip along and have a word with a few sailors and captains. See if there's anything kicking about.
You head down
Good plan.
towards the docks. You see a barge at rest there, and an older man tending to it, mending ropes. Just puts it down and goes to the back of the ship and seems to be tending to something set in under the deck with a trapdoor.
Hail there, fella.
Looks up. Hail yourself. How can I help you?
Aye, fine looking barge here, sir.
One of the finest on the river. There's only one that matches it.
Ooh, very nice indeed. A bit of a sailor myself, as you can probably tell. But
Hey.
aye, I'm just sort of general inquiries. It may be that we've got a reasonable party that might want to sort of go upriver, and
Stands
up
up,
towards
looks
up
at you,
towards
wipes
June
his
June
hands.
City. It's just pure
Um,
inquiry at this point. I'm nothing solid, but we there'll be a party of at least sort of about 35-ish, plus a variety of horses and carts and everything else
um,
heading up to Dune City. I understand that the river is much safer than going by land, and
the River
I
Siren
just
could get you there, though it doesn't normally head that way. We usually ply the water between. The River Siren and its sister ship generally ply the water between here and Earls Bay. Much more
right.
lucrative.
Well, I'm
So
from
we
Earl's
can
Bay.
discuss a
I'm just wondering, I take it that the river going
mission.
up on one of the branches um, would take us much closer to Dune City. At least we'd want to go part of the way by the
Yeah,
water.
I
It'd just
could
make
take
things
you up to
easier.
the dock at River's Rest.
Right. And then we can go on from there. I'm just
There is
thinking
a
it would
dock
be
there and a post house where you could purchase or
right.
hire carts, wagons, well supplied.
Oh, right.
Um,
So there's things there already. This is what I'm trying
there
to
is a
find out, you see.
there is
I'm
a
not, I'm
there
not
is
from
a
round here.
hey, you seem more like the saltwater type, being a dwarf and all.
Well, Earl's Bay and then round the coast, to be honest. Uh, so I say quite a bit. Nice place.
Never
Full of
been.
dragons. Hey, food's good.
Hmm. I met a
Worth a
Dragon
trip.
Ball.
Aye, worth a trip if you're going. No, if you fancy a wee bit of a holiday or whatever, I'd recommend it. It's a nice place. Anyway, on to the matter at hand. So there's a place where we could hire carts and things there if we're not bringing our own. Would it be a problem bringing
Certainly.
carts and horses onto the barge?
We've transported horses before, though. Depends on how many and how many carts and whatnot.
Hmm. Aye, of course, of course. That's not a problem.
I mean,
As,
as I
as I say,
said,
it's a full
the
troop of
the
people
River
with the
Siren
cart.
is a very large barge,
Hmm.
and you, oddly enough, where you'd normally expect some means of oars, whatever, to work and control it, you see nothing that would power it or guide it.
I don't know how much Golden knows about the.
It's he's got deep water knowledge, but he understands sailing, anything that
Yeah,
floats, basically. At
yeah.
this point, since he's
So
lived
he
what
understands
50
that
odd
it's
years
got
on the
the.
water.
He understands that the barge has got the magic sort of power.
It's got something going on there that's not common.
Aye. Well, it looks a fine ship. Um,
Hey, one of the few of, that is
but you could
you
definitely
with the
get us up
arcane
there.
cores. Would you like to take a look?
Ooh, I'd love to.
Come aboard there,
Obviously, I'm more
Sucker.
used to sail and going around the coast and deep water
Hey,
vessels,
no
but
vessels. Very few. Only the orcs have got finer vessels than the dwarves.
well, aye. After you.
He leads you up to the back and opens it. This is what drives the ship, and you see in front of you an arcane core, similar to what was taken out of Bastion, the others that you had, Shepard. You haven't seen him personally, but from what you've
Yeah,
described to you, you recognise it.
yeah. Oh, very interesting. I've seen. I haven't seen any of these cores, but I understand. Just as a bit of knowledge passed on, fella. We think that some of my colleagues, uh, they discovered that some of these things are being stolen. So you might want to keep a special close eye on this one.
He
Um,
looks up to you and goes, "I've had many rivals try to understand
no,
what drives Siren.
this was a bit different. This was somebody targeting these things, and they weren't pleasant about it. You know,
Ooh, okay.
and I mean really unpleasant about it and taking them. So just a heads up, you know, any I say any dodgy people kicking about. I suppose I probably qualify with just suddenly turning up here, but Yeah, just as a bit of a warning, you might want to warn the other captains as well if they're using them. There has been a few stolen, and they were really nasty about taking them too. They didn't care if you lived or died, if you know what I mean.
He frowns, goes, I will best get in touch with Vernon and let him know about this. And
It's a good plan. I don't want to particularly alarm you, but
because
just to put you on your
no, that's
guard.
fine. Better to know. I need to let my
Aye.
business partner know his barge runs on the same. As I said, it is a sister ship of this one.
Mm. It's concerning, and we don't want anybody
Mm.
hurt, you know. So, just to let you know that there has been this thing. I don't suppose you've heard anything about bandit activity further up the road, have you? Out in the, up towards Dune City. We've been hearing some
Leans
rumours.
leans down, sits on the thing, and does a. As he's talking to you, he makes a few adjustments, and obviously servicing this core somehow, and frowns. I heard there was a caravan attacked not more than a few days ago.
Aye, that's the one that I was hearing about. It's a bit worrying because apparently they're not all that common round here, and they weren't very nice about it either. You know.
Hmm. Fair, fair. I hadn't heard much. Usually there's not a lot
Well,
of bandits. I mean, there's we get. I mean, we had a few idiots try river piracy occasionally, but that's
I
never a
bet
good
that
idea.
went well.
And that's what that. There was a time that banditry was not more than a decade or two ago that was a bit more common because of the troubles with the
Aye,
just before the Dark Ascension, due to
aye.
bloody the shenanigans with the knights being reassigned here, there, and everywhere and undermanned. That's been fairly sorted these days.
Aye, it's a bit unusual, isn't it? But
Hmm.
I just thought I'd better ask. If we're going to be heading
Uh,
that way, you don't want to be.
Honestly, the bandits in general are odd, simply to due to how well patrolled the roads of Salzgard are. It is still a very militant nation due to the
Hmm.
fact that its history of having enemies on all sides, basically.
Well, aye. That's
And
fair enough. Right enough.
we still hold that to an extent closer to the elves, to our hearts, even though the elves have changed their tune lately, apparently. It
Oh,
scowls at this.
aye. There's some bad blood and some healing that needs to go on there. It'll take its time, but I
Time will
think it's
tell.
a step in the right direction anyway.
Time will tell.
Aye, aye. We'll keep our fingers crossed. Aye. So anyway, going up the river to the landing.
Up the
Did
river, for the numbers you were talking about, we can discuss a commission.
aye.
I mean, would you like to? I mean, I mean,
Just so I've
I
got
would
a rough
like to.
ballpark
I'd like to
figure.
help. I'd like to help another
I'm not the
waterman
one
out.
paying. You
I'd like
understand? I
to. I'd
just
like
need to
to.
go back and report roughly how
It's fine.
much.
I mean, for your friend and yourself, if you were willing to help out on the ship, I'd allow you to travel for free. But
Oh, I'd be
seems
happy
like
to
it
help out.
seems like you're talking in numbers.
Aye. Well, we're looking at about
Plus,
35-ish people and
see,
associated
I could
carts, probably a few for that.
if you and a few of your friends, if you wanted to help out the carts and the numbers, I'd call it 40 gold.
Right. Aye, not too bad. That's quite reasonable. It's a good starting point. I'll
It's
report
just
back.
the volume and the fact that we would have to bring in the
Well, aye.
sister ship to this one to carry you all.
Right, got you. Yeah,
And
well, I will report back and then I will come back and see you, sir. What's your name again? Sorry,
Greg Orson.
Greg. Awesome.
My business partner is Vernon.
Same
Vernon,
last
Vernon,
name by
Vernon,
any
Vernon.
chance?
No. Vernon Nichols.
Nichols. Right,
Yeah.
right.
Actually had
Right,
to go
thank
to
you very
separate
much, Mr.
bit
Orson.
for that.
You've
I
been
had to go
most
to my
helpful.
Serious Discord for that one. Pre-existing characters. Didn't have to actually make them.
Cool.
Can I ask a question about the map?
Mm.
All right. I'm just showing the map for anyone watching the stream. I'm guessing that River's Rest is the. I'm guessing River's Rest is. I'm guessing River's Rest is the highest point with an X on the map towards Dune City.
I'd have to look at the map, man. I'm not actually watching your stream and you're not showing
It might
anything.
not
I've got
be
it.
that. Yeah, it might not be that far up, but yeah, it could well.
It wouldn't go all the way because it would get too shallow. The barges do have a very shallow draft,
It might not be the last
and they
one,
could go
Tristan. It
a
might be the
fair
one
way up
before.
it. But
Right, so it's one of the ones I'm pointing at anyway. For anyone
I
on the stream.
honestly haven't got it set up so I can see it, man. I closed it down so I don't actually see your stream because
Yeah, good point.
Bandwidth, gotcha.
no, I just don't want to be distracted by people on the street while I'm doing stuff.
Alright, no, I just thought I'd try and.
Disable video. There we go. No, I got. I'm looking at you now instead of whatever you're showing.
Alright, so I'm guessing it's one of these X's here.
All I'm seeing
along
is
the
you,
river.
man. So I'll actually have a look at the map rather than what you're doing because you're not showing me anything.
Oh, like I was pointing at stuff on the stream, but okay.
I'm not. I don't watch the stream.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I've said this previously. Let me find the
Right.
map.
I returned. I'd sort of like thank Greg. Hey, my name's Galduhr Darkfist. And I'd
Actually,
be more than happy to help out.
Looking
I'd like
looking
to.
at that. Hold up before you go any further, Golder. That last X probably would with where the river is. Man, yeah, you're right. I hadn't looked at the map properly, but yeah. No,
Right,
you're right.
that's
Sorry,
right.
Golder.
Right. Anyway, thank you very much, Mr. Orson. I'm Galduhr, Darkfist of that clan.
Yeah, Darkfist. He frowns. I met another dwarf from the Darkfist clan a while back.
Really?
Wasn't as friendly as you though. Constantly scowling and right dark look on his face.
Do I know who that is, Ash?
Do you know who it is? He hasn't actually mentioned a name other than Darkfist.
Hey, did he say what his name was by any chance?
I believe it was Oleg.
Oleg. Do I know who Oleg is?
History. Right. You vaguely remember a dwarf by the name of
that's
Oleg that was exiled from the clan for theft and kicked off his ship for laziness.
Right, got you.
Not just any ship. He was kicked off the Storm's Regret.
Right, was it me who kicked him off by any chance?
Yes.
Right.
This was a good 7 odd years ago, just after you'd become
Right.
the bosun. It was one of the first tasks that was given to you.
Beating the shit out of Oleg. Right. And I turned around and looked at him and said, "Oh, well, I'm sorry you had to come up against that arsehole." He was, let's just say I booted him off the Storm's Regret, my ship, for being a thief and a lazy arsehole. So I'm sorry I had to meet him. I'm not surprised he looked grumpy. He deserves a kicking every time I see him, that one. If I come across him again, I probably will. He was not well liked, and I don't like the fact that he's using Darkfist as his name either.
He looks at you and curious. That's not his name?
Well, clan names go by reputation, and he tarnished the reputation. Anyone we kick off, we don't want them using our name.
Fair enough.
You know what I mean? It damages the clan. And
He nods
actually, having a
gravely.
little word about him,
Eh?
people should be. They should just sort of pick a new name and use it really when they get booted, because the clan
Well,
don't want him to see him anymore. But
from
he's
the
an
sound of it, he's
exile.
not part of the clan anymore.
He's not part of the clan, and he shouldn't be using the name. So, aye. Yeah, I'm not surprised he was grumpy though. But no,
Plus,
not a nice fella.
it was some time ago. I brought him up from Summerford to here some weeks ago, maybe 3, 4. Had a bunch of right nasty blokes with him. Bunch of thugs.
Really?
Hmm.
That sounds suspicious.
Eh?
Good. Might get to have a chat with them sooner rather than later. Then they didn't, by any
Well,
chance, disappear from round here and go north. By any chance, did they?
I don't know. I have no idea. It doesn't.
Yeah,
If it's not
I
travelling
guess.
on my barge down the river, I'm
Well, you haven't seen him about though recently,
not down at the docks. No.
right? Good. Well, if I spot him, I'll be sure to give him a kicking. Anyway, thank you very much for your time and your help. I'll be back as soon as I can with any news on going upriver, because we will need it. It probably won't be for about a week that we need it at least. But
Well,
I just wanted to check on everything first.
I can probably hold out for another few days if you can let us know. I do have a business to run, and
of course,
I don't have cargo to carry yet.
Well,
but I can't wait around.
Oh God,
Docking fees, you understand.
Of course I do. I can't miss up the cargo runs. When are you likely to be back up here again, or do you disappear for weeks at a time?
Weeks.
Right.
Several weeks.
All right. I'll be as quick
back.
as I can then in that case. Because if we are going to have to hold you, well, you might be all right with a short run down to see Summerford and back again, and we'd be all right. But
Summerford and back, I can manage within a week.
Aye. I was just thinking, if we do need it in about a week and a half,
I can try
it's enough time for you to do
find a cargo to Summerford and back.
Aye.
He seems thoughtful.
Aye. Like I say, I will.
For a
I will let you know.
For a fellow sailor, I'll try to do that.
You're a gentleman and a scholar, sir. Right.
Smiles, nods.
I'll give him a salute and said, "Thank you very much. We'd best be about our business anyway. Thanks very much for all your help."
Thank you. It's good to talk to another sailor.
Aye,
even
you
if
too.
he's a salty old dog.
Well, aye.
Smiles.
He doesn't mind being called a salty old dog. He really doesn't. It's a badge of honour for Galduhr, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Have a lovely afternoon, and see you later.
You too.
And off he goes, and I take it you all listening, Colwen?
Oh yeah, in part. Didn't catch all of that, but
well, Sailor Talk for part of it. Well, it looks like we can definitely get everybody upriver for about 40 gold.
That's reasonable.
It is for the amount of people that we're taking, and safe and quick. We don't have to brave the roads or anything. Well, it was very interesting to see that a man that I booted off our ship came through with a bunch of thugs now, wasn't it? And all of a sudden the bandit activity's gone up, and he's a known thief.
Yeah, although I'm curious as to his capabilities in regards to operating in this area and with such ruthless efficiency that there was not one single fuck up.
Well, yeah.
Consistency is the thing, but yeah, can't discount it until we
surprise me though if they were part of the gang and somebody had hired them.
Quite.
I mean, what else would they be doing up here? There's not that much to nick.
It's been about 7 years since you booted him off, so
yeah.
What he's done.
Yeah. 7 So that's enough time to actually get yourself
Good at
in a
something.
thingamy. Yep, quite. Okie dokie. I'm going to humbly request a break at this juncture.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I was going to say the same.
Mm.
Good
To
plan.
allow for cogitation and other
Food.
things. Mastication. There we go.
Mastication, people. There's no B in there. God damn it.
Yeah. Obvious joke is obvious, but
Yep. And I'm just going to say, for anyone who doesn't want to Google it, mastication means chewing.
Yes.
and we're going to stop right there because this could go.
We're not talking about eating things. God damn it, Eva. I had to go there. I apologise. No, I don't.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
Then
So
again,
Alright.
honorable mention. Thank you so much for this item, DM.
So did you end up with some good stuff on your rolls, man? I didn't actually check.
I did get some good stuff on my rolls. Yes.
Nice.
No.
Some of them are more like not necessarily very useful, but some of them can come up in very fun scenarios.
Oh,
Yeah,
like
it's
a
a fun
robot?
little item.
As far as that goes, did you get the robot? Did you get the robot? The completely out of character.
Time will tell.
Hey, considering that you've got a sailor amongst you, and at some point he's going to go to sea to do his bit at some point, I imagine.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to put the stream on break. We shall be back. Let's call it 10:20 p.m. So 15 minutes, guys.
No worries.
Lolly.
We will return. Have fun.